Most of us are walking around with a credit card in our wallet, in our cell phone, and even on our computers. Maybe you even have multiple credit cards, a business credit card, one with cash back, and another maybe with travel perks. So it makes sense that the credit card industry is booming. In 2022 alone, credit card companies in the US made $130 billion off of consumers. With credit cards being such a powerful industry, there are some things that you need to make sure of to make sure you're using your credit cards wisely and aren't being taken advantage of. I'm Terry, a financial coach here at Dow Jones, and today I'm going to share with you 6 things that credit card companies don't necessarily want you to know. But first, if you want more tips for up-leveling your finances, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Also, if you want a pain-free system for managing your money, be sure to check out our free masterclass. I'll put a link in the description. Okay, here are 6 things that credit card companies don't want you to know. Your fixed rate is not set in stone. Fixed rate sounds deceptively solid. Essentially, what it means is that the APR or the interest rate on your credit card won't change due to inflation or the prime index. But that doesn't mean that your interest rate won't change based on other factors. For example, if you have a history of missed payments or if your credit score took a hit. Second is the 45-day notice can be misleading. If your APR is going to go up, then the credit card company is required to send you 45 days notice. However, that doesn't mean that you have 45 days until the new APR kicks in. It only means that you have 45 days to pay the extra interest accrued at a higher interest rate. In actuality, on the 15th day after the postmark date, your account starts accruing interest at the new higher interest rate on new purchases. Third, they profit from your loss. Credit card companies are not necessarily on your side. When you don't pay your credit card balance in full every month, they charge you interest on that money. Remember when I said that US credit card companies made $130 billion off consumers in 2022? Well, $105 billion of that came from interest alone. The interest rates on credit cards are notoriously high. Right now, the average credit card interest rate is about 24%. If you carry over the average credit card balance of $6,000, that means that you could be paying almost $120 every month in interest. That adds up to almost $1,400 a year, money that you could be investing for your future or using for travel, but it's going straight into the pockets of the credit card companies. Because of that, credit card companies have no motivation to help you stay out of debt. In fact, the longer you stay in debt, the more money they make. And at the end of the day, credit card companies are businesses. Their primary goal is to make money. Next up is number 4. They are sometimes willing to negotiate. That said, credit card companies can be willing to negotiate, especially if you have a good track record. You can ask for a lower APR, change your due date so that it works better with your cash flow, and even request that a late payment fee be removed from your issuer's report to the credit bureau. Lorianne did a full video on how to negotiate with credit card companies, and I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to check out that video. Number 5, they like to sneak in fees. There are several types of fees that credit card companies like to include. Annual fees. Many credit cards don't have an annual fee. However, the companies that do charge these annual fees, they typically do come with significant bonuses and perks like cash back or miles. Balance transfer fees. A balance transfer is when you transfer the balance from one credit card to another, usually to get a lower interest rate. But when you transfer that money over, you often pay a balance transfer fee. It's typically around 3% of the balance. Next is late payment fees. When you don't pay your credit card bill by the due date, or at least the minimum payment, you'll usually be hit with a late fee. In 2022, the average fee for late payments was roughly $32, and U.S. consumers paid a total of $14.5 billion in late payment fees. Foreign transaction fees. Now, these are fees that are charged when transactions are made in a foreign currency or through a foreign bank. The fee is meant to cover the costs associated with the currency conversion and processing payments through global networks. If you love to travel, it might be worth looking for a credit card that does not charge foreign transaction fees. Now, fees are not always a negative thing. There are credit cards that require fees, but they end up paying you back the fee and sometimes even more in other perks like cashback programs or even travel points. So having a fee isn't necessarily a reason to steer clear of a certain credit card, but you do need to read the fine print and be aware of any fees and assess whether or not the benefits are worth the price. Number 6, they charge merchant processing fees. In addition to user fees, credit card companies also like to collect money from the merchant or the retailer who accepts credit cards. These fees cover the cost of the transactions. Now, ordinarily, this isn't really a factor for consumers, but large companies will just build that cost into their pricing, but smaller companies might actually pass that charge on to you to help them cover the cost, or they'll require you to spend a certain amount in order to use a credit card. So if you're going somewhere small or maybe like a local farmer's market, you know you're going to be buying from small businesses and you might want to bring cash. Credit cards are not the boogeyman of finance like they are sometimes portrayed to be, but it is really important to stay aware of things that credit card companies are maybe hiding from you so that you don't make financially damaging mistakes. We've got more tips on how to use a credit card responsibly and how to pay off credit card debt, and I'll pop some of those on the screen in just a second. Like I mentioned before, if you want to learn more about how to manage your money using our proven feel-good system, check out our free masterclass. Our Dow Janes co-founder, Lorianne, will explain the system that she used to go from $40,000 in debt to making thousands in her investments every single month. All right, thanks for watching.